Hey, it's Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam Business. I'm going to walk you through a financial media business that I've got going here. This is day one. I try to make these videos daily until I make $10 million. So I better get started. So here's the deal. I've set up a CRM here because I need a place to send a high volume of email and SMS to financial consumers, people looking for stock picks, people looking for market news, people who want to get introduced to gold opportunities, things like that. And I'm sure you've seen newsletters like The Motley Fool or Barron's. This is like that. This is small versions of that. So the reason I think I need a CRM is I was using an email provider only. I was using SendGrid here. And SendGrid has its own problems that I'm finding. For example, I previously had an account here that was disallowed. And for that reason, I had to create a new account. And because SendGrid was bought by Twilio, sometimes I'm not able to log in unless I open an incognito tab with my new account. You don't care about that though. This is the way I'm connecting SendGrid, which is my ESP email service provider, to my CRM. I initially had all my emails in SendGrid. It's not the most user-friendly platform in terms of functionality. In fact, I had a challenge where I could only send to people who engaged, aka opened, within 30 days. Yet I was able to create segments in my contacts of people who had engaged, aka opened, and or clicked up to 60 days or more. Unfortunately, when I went to send to that segment, those emails were not actually sent. So I went back and forth with SendGrid support, and that was a more recent reason, but more broadly, it's just good to have a CRM anyway. So that's what I've got going on over here. I just had my first SMS subscriber sign up here, and I also have events here as well. So I have two tables in this CRM here. I have the contacts, and then I have an events table. And the events table I think is going to prove very useful. So it shows events from opens, clicks, blocks, occasional spam report, any bounce, any deferral. In fact, all the events that SendGrid sends are right here. And I'll be able to use the CRM to send using SendGrid, or if I use another provider in the future, to certain segments that are accurately segmented, which I was not able to do to my liking with the UI here for Twilio SendGrid. So that's the CRM build out. It's not going to be built in a day, but there it is. And I actually subscribed to ChatGPT, actually just the Go plan that they have here, the $8 plan, just to get started here. And they've been telling me how to do it, how to set up Supabase. I hadn't set up a database. I have used Firebase in the past, which is a Google type backend as a service. Instead of doing all the code, you're really just sort of operating a UI, much like you would with SendGrid, but it's creating a table, kind of like creating a big spreadsheet, except you can select what type the entities you would put in the spreadsheet. For example, this would be text type and this would be numeric. So it gets important to get those right to match everything so that it all runs smoothly and you can send from your CRM just like you would your normal ESP, with much more granularity as to sending to certain segments down the road. I'd like to be able to only send to a certain threshold of perhaps clicks in, for example, Outlook and Live Microsoft emails versus Gmails, as a broad example. So that's what I've got going on here. And when I get over to some of these other tabs here, Meta is going to become important. I do have a new Meta account. I did have a prior Meta account that was disallowed, so it actually took quite a long time to create a new account. Didn't ask for my ID as of yet. I was able to create a new account for Instagram and Facebook and create a business manager. Importantly, I did at one point create an Instagram account for Self-Advisors, which is this company. Created the LLC for Self-Advisors. And what I actually did is I tried to change the name on the Instagram account, and I clicked, "This wasn't me." Meta will send you those privacy security updates to your email. And I actually said, yes, this wasn't me, because I wanted to be able to change the name within the 30-day window. It locks you from changing your handle within 30 days. And in doing so, it not only deactivated my entire account that I created, but deactivated all of my other Meta accounts, besides my initial personal profile I've created with my initial ID, and a couple of Instagram accounts that I've had for at least a couple years, one for about a decade. So all this to say, Meta is coming along. I don't really want to pay someone $3,000 to $5,000 or whatever to reinstate the business manager attached to my personal profile, although I might do that at some point down the road. Don't know whether that'll work or not. But that's the traffic part. So that's the traffic, and that's the sending, the processing of the data. I did register this LLC this week as a data processing company, which it is. I did set up this offer wall as well as a co-reg after the initial sign up on the Self-Advisors website. So I'm using a webhook using this form, and do have an SMS terms, which this person who signed up for this SMS, they checked this box, which is required. The SMS is not required, and that check mark went into the database here. I am sending the IP and the user agent as well, and there is a cookie yes banner that has to be checked prior to the submission of the form. So that's what I've got going on. I'm going to keep this video really short. I think we're going to cut it in just a few, but the site itself looks pretty self-evident as to what we've got going on here. This is not including the word stock or investing, which was important for one SMS provider I was getting set up with, Trackley, when they went back and forth with carrier review in order to get approved for a carrier for, I believe, a 10 DLC number, a 10-digit number. I'm not going to get the short code for $10,000 a month just yet, but to get the 10 DLC, it does have to not have stock or investing on the home page. At least that's the knowledge I'm operating on based on going back and forth getting approved. And I also was getting set up with Betwixt, sort of in parallel, setting up a couple of SMS high throughput tools. This one in particular giving me the capability to send triggered campaigns in SMS and email. So that's where I'm at. This is day one, and we'll go from here. There's quite a lot of information in this video, particularly if financial media is not exactly your business or your business opportunity. But if you see anything on here that's interesting, you want to ask a question or just follow along, hit that like button, that subscribe button to have this video show up in your feed. And head over to X. Click that link in the description to my X profile and follow along there. All right. Have a great day.